So it's the final round of the TikTok Women's Six Nations for 2022, and that means Super Saturday is just around the corner. Obviously it's Thursday today, so most of the teams have named their sides, with the exception of Scotland. But if I'm being honest, I wasn't looking to put many Scottish players in my team as they haven't won a game or tournament. So this is the fantasy team from last week. Obviously we've got Lydia Thompson, Keogh Dunn, who came on as my super sub and scored absolutely huge points. We've got Packer being the best performer of last round. So let's see if any of these players are in my team for the final round of the Six Nations. So to start off in the front row, I've stuck with Byrne. Obviously she scored absolutely insane points for a prop this tournament, and 70 points once again last week. So she'll be key to that England side against France with the hard ball carrying and getting over the game line. So she'll be a real asset for England. And then I've gone with Jones and Dujagang for Ireland. Now Ireland are home to Scotland, who haven't won a game, so I do expect them to get a good win. Jones carries well, and so does Dujagang. So this front row pairing I'm keeping my fingers crossed for, but I think they will do the business. In the second row, I've gone with Fall from France and Monaghan from Ireland. Now obviously Fall was the player of round 1. She absolutely stormed it in the first game for France. She's just such a great athlete, and like I said with England, they look to dominate in the pack, and France kind of want to do the same. But will they be tricked in and get out dominated by England? Well, who knows, but Fall can definitely be a defence against that. And obviously Monaghan was also a player of the round in one round, so hopefully she can do the business and lead Ireland again to another victory. Now for the back row, in my opinion, is pretty big. So first off, we got Marley Packer. Obviously she absolutely stormed it last week again. She was the highest point scoring player in the whole of the fantasy with like almost 130 points, which is absolutely crazy. So I'm hoping for another amazing performance against France. Obviously maybe not as many points, but she will be just as physical and carry hard and tackle hard. So that's why she's in my team. Next is Poppy Cleogh, and I've actually got her as my captain. She's back at 8 this week, and I just think she'll just keep carrying the ball all 80 minutes, and that'll be key for England to get over the gain line. And she also has a great nous for the try line, so that's why she's in my team and also my captain. Maybe I could have gone for, say, an Irish pick because they're playing Scotland, but I'm backing England and Poppy Cleogh. And then finally is Sion Harries. Now she was a player of the match in one of Wales's games, so she has what it takes to get Wales over for their 4th win of the tournament. And if they are to do that, they're going to have to carry hard and tackle hard, and once again Harries is that kind of 8, just like Cleogh. So I do back Wales to get the win, and Harries hopefully will be a key part of that. Then at the halfbacks, you'll probably be thinking, why have you picked that 10? Now, first off, let's just talk about Sansus. Obviously, she's probably going to get player of the tournament. I would say definitely if France do beat England on Saturday. She's been absolutely immense and is almost, or probably is, the top try scorer. So if she gets a few more, she'll definitely get that award. Then as for my 10, I've gone with Terry for Wales. Now, she's a 10 in the game of fantasy, but she's actually starting at fullback for Wales on Saturday. And we all know that fullbacks can rack up huge metres gained. I know it's a bit risky as she hasn't actually played too many games, but I'm taking a punt because she's so cheap. And obviously, with the likes of Packer, Cleogh, Byrne, Sansus, they're also expensive. So I've had to put in a few less expensive players like Terry just to make the whole squad work. But hopefully she can do the business. There's no strangers in the centre pairing with Jacquet and Jones. Obviously, Jacquet scored a brilliant try last weekend, playing at fullback once again this week. So, as I just said, meters gained are a good possibility. So, this might be a good little tactic to have her in the centre in fantasy, and she's actually playing at fullback on the weekend. So, I do expect lots of good running meters from her. And as for Jones, she's back from injury for Wales, and I do expect her to carry hard and also get a fair few meters. I think she's up there with one of the highest meters made in all the centres. So, again, let's hope for a Welsh win, and I think Jones will be key to that. As for my back three, first off I've got Lydia Thompson. Now, obviously we all know about her try scoring rate. It's something absolutely ridiculous, so that's why she's in my team, and she can perform in big games too. Boujard is back in again for the second week running. Obviously it was her first game back last week, but she too is a big game player, so I do expect her to get good running meters and maybe over for a try, especially as they're at home in France. And then Furlan, obviously the Italian captain. If they are going to get something from the Welsh game, then she will be key to that. Obviously, last week I picked her for the first time. She went off with a head injury assessment, but came back on to score almost 40 points. So I wasn't too disappointed with her. And then for my bench, we'll start with Irvine. So Irvine is starting at fullback for Ireland. She hasn't played too many games either, but I do expect her to have a good impact on the team. And obviously against Scotland, I do expect an Ireland win. O'Donnell, well, the reason why I picked her is because I couldn't afford anything else. I'm not sure if she's actually playing, as the Scottish team hasn't been announced yet, but we'll soon see later today. And then my super sub is Powell. Now, if Wales are to get their third victory of the tournament, then Powell and the rest of the bench will be key to that. Powell has actually started most of Wales' games this tournament, and she's been absolutely superb. So bringing her off the bench is an absolute must for Wales. And if they are struggling, or if they are in the lead, I think Powell will come on and just dominate the game from 10 or from fullback, wherever she comes onto the pitch. So that's my reasoning behind that. Let me know what you're doing down in the comments with your super sub, as it's super important this week, being the final week. So that's the end of today's video. Obviously that's the last team selection in the TikTok Women's Six Nations. It's been such a good run, and hopefully we can all progress up our mini leagues, and obviously the overall women's fantasy league as well. So let me know what you're going to do down in the comments, and also let me know how you get on throughout the games. So good luck for Super Saturday, and I'll see you for Roundup next week.